Hey everybody, so this is my Charlotte deck that I brought to Louisiana States. I ended up getting 4th. The tournament had about mid-20s for the number of entries. Then brought it to Mississippi States and technically got 1st, but there was only 8 people there. And so we just played Swiss, and then for everyone that wanted to play for the mat and the official win, we played out, and it was just me and one other guy, surprisingly, that wanted to. Ended up beating him, so I got the championship mat and 2 invites. And it was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the Force of Will community. I played other games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic and Kaijudo, but this by far was just really enjoyable, really enjoy the crowd. So anyway, I played Charlotte just because it seemed, very control oriented, and I've always been a control player. I've always enjoyed that type of a style. I'm not an aggro player. If it's not control, it's something, mid-rangey. But anyway, so ruler is Charlotte. She costs 2 to judge. She has Energize, which I think is a great mechanic. I think it's really, really healthy. For anyone that doesn't know, if you go second, you get a mana counter. In her instance, it's blue. So even if you go second, you're not so behind on resource, which I find really interesting. Also, you can pay 1 blue to discard a card and then rest target Resonator, which I feel like is really good if you're going against, early aggression and you don't have any other answer. I mean, that's obviously the last thing you want to do, but just the fact that she has inherent protection as a control deck that way just seems really solid to me. And then her J ruler side, she has 400 attack and 1200 defense. 400 attacks, usually doesn't come up much, but I have played Charlotte Beats a few times in the tournament. The 1200 booty is pretty nice. Doesn't really die to much, pretty much just Black Moonbeam. She also can't be attacked, which is really nifty considering you can have her out and still, rest her for mana, and, she can't get punished for it. Whenever she ETBs, you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, and for each card drawn, you gain 100 life. So that's just amazing in a control deck. You can use your discard and your spot removal, and when you're low on resource, you can just flip her, get all that back, and gain some life. So it kind of, it's like Sphinx's Rev from Magic on a body, which I really enjoy. And then her ability, which is absolutely insane, is 1 blue, 1 anything, discard a card, return target Resonator to its owner's hand. So again, just spot removal and protection inherently in the card, and also combos with a ton of stuff in the deck, and I just think she's really, really powerful. So next is the Wheelstone. So I had 4 Rulers Memoria, because why not? Just lets you play a whole bunch of really good cards. Just fixes your mana. And then I played 2 green lights, and then I played 2 green blue and 2 green purple. So they give 6 purple, 6 blue, 6 light, and 10 green. So it just seemed to be really balanced that way. And then to get into the main deck, I played 4 Seraphs. This card is, in my opinion, probably the best monster in the game. Definitely the best boss monster in Standard. So it costs 2 light, 3 anything. It has flying. It's a 1k, 1k. When it enters the board, you get an angel from your deck that's level 4 and put it out into the field. And whenever she swings, you gain 300 life for each angel you control. So Charlotte gains you life. This card gains you life. So you stabilize with this deck, and then by gaining the life, and then you just kind of take control of the momentum and the tempo. And so she brings out Lucifer, obviously, which is the best target for her in the game. He's 2 purple, 2 colorless, a 9/9, again also with flying. When he enters the field, your opponent banishes a Resonator, so he's spot removal. So you summon Seraph, this comes out, this gets rid of something, and then you're representing 1900 in the air. So it just seems like a really, really dangerous threat. And then if either one of these are threatened, you can use Charlotte's ability to bounce them to reuse their effects. So you can just keep bouncing Lucifer to make him banish creatures. You can keep bouncing Seraph to keep getting Lucifers out of the deck, or just to avoid stuff like Bare Bow or, Glorious, or whatever the, removal is. So it's just really, really strong combo. And Lucifer also, for 1 purple and 1 moon, whenever he deals damage that turn, you gain that much life once per turn, but you can't use that effect in this game because I don't play any Moon Will. And then I play 4 melfee. She just mana fixes because she can tap for anything. She has quick cast, so you can use her as a chump blocker. And then her Torn ability is whenever this card enters your field, permanent damage will be dealt to target J Resonator if you play 2 or more cards this turn. So again, just more protection, really strong, mana fixes, get you to Seraph faster. Really good card. And then I played 4 Tama, which it's the second best one drop to Bear, I think. But when it enters the field, you draw a card. So if you have Charlotte out, that also gains you 100 life. Yes, it's relevant. It does come up. If I'm versing an aggressive deck, I love drawing per turn, gaining 100, summoning this, gaining 100, swinging with Seraph, gaining more life. So the deck recovers really, really quickly with this card, and you can also banish it to deal 200 damage to a Resonator. So lots of utility with that card. And then I ran 4 Artemis Bow, because I think it's the best regalia in the game. Your J Ruler gets target attack. When it enters the field, it gets 2 counters. 4 if you're playing ARLA. You can tap it and remove 2 counters to get rid of something in the chance standby, or destroy an addition Resonator card, or you can remove 1 to deal 400 damage to attacking or blocking Resonator, which is absolutely amazing. Or you can remove 4 counters from this card, destroy target J or Res with flying. And that combos really well with Bear. So it costs 1 blue and has quick cast and remnant, so you can play it from grave. It makes something a 4/4 Bear vanilla. So your opponent swings with, it could have 1,000,000 attack and it could swing, and you turn it into a bear, and then you use bow and kill it. So just really strong combo. And then Bear also combos with Space-Time Anomaly. So you make it a 4/4, Space-Time Anomaly gives it -5/-5, and then you draw a card, which again also gains you life with Charlotte. This is one of my favorite cards in the game, period. And it can also do it to J Rulers, not just Resonators. So there's a lot of synergy there, and you can also pitch all 8 of these cards with Charlotte's effects to bounce or rest, and you don't lose that much because they all have remnant. So I thought that was, you know, just something that kind of needed to be in the deck. And then 4 Seal of Wind and Light, just a counterspell that outright counters anything. And then if you pay a moon for its awakening cost, you can't chase to the card. So it's just an outright out. Your opponent can't do anything about it if you can tap for a moon. And then I played 4 Scorn. I was kind of worried about Hook, so I played 4 Scorn and 4 Seal of Wind and Light just to try and be able to deal with Hook. But if it doesn't deal with Hook, it just deals with any problem Resonator, so it's really good. And the hand knowledge is really nice. And then for the other regalia I played 3 Apollo, which can tap for moon, which makes Seal of Wind and Light unchaseable, and then also gives your J Ruler flying. And you can also banish it to bounce a Resonator you control. So again, if you have Seraph or Lucifer out, and maybe Charlotte isn't flipped, if they're trying to spot remove your Seraph and Lucifer, because they will, because they're amazing, and they have to answer them, you can just banish this, get it to your hand, and then summon Seraph again next turn, get another Lucifer out, make him banish another creature. So just a lot of utility with this card. If this isn't the best, it's definitely second to Bow. I can't really ever decide which one's better, Bow or that. And then I did main deck 2 Heavenly Gust, just because I felt like everyone else was going to be running Bow Bear as well. And, you know, just the regalia in this game are ridiculous, and they cost 0, and the new additions like Wind Secluded Refuge are really strong. And so I just wanted a way to plus on my opponent, and then to get the Torn ability, which says if you played another card this turn, you destroy all regalia additions they control. It's really easy in this deck because you can just play Bear or Space-Time from grave and then trigger it. So it caught a lot of people off guard. They weren't expecting me to main this, and they would just overextend with their additions or regalia, and I would like plus 2 or 3 off of it. So it was just really strong. And then for my side, I did change my main deck and my side a bit depending on which tournament I went to, because like I said, I went to Louisiana and Mississippi. So I ended up putting 2 Black Moonbeams in my main deck to deal with 0 a little bit better, and then I did side into a third. I took out 1 Seraph and 1 Tama for the 2 Moonbeams, and I really didn't like taking out the Tama or the Seraph really. I'd have to play around with that some more, but what I was finding is that I would stabilize, and then I wouldn't draw my Seraph to capitalize on the fact that I had taken control of the game, and then I'll give my opponent time to come back, and you don't want that in control. I want to take control of the game and then finish them out. Raphael was a card that ended up maining because it made it to where my opponent can't activate regalia abilities or J-roll abilities on my turn. So they couldn't Charlotte me, they couldn't bare bow me anymore. So it was just really strong. So I'd go Seraph and then this, and then I could just swing, and they could bear me, sure, but they can't also kill me. So Raphael was just really good. And then I also sided 3 Nameless Mist, either to get my opponent's Nameless Mist out of their hand or to get their counter spells out of their hand, to make sure Seraph and Lucifer ended up hitting the board. And then again, I got the hand knowledge, which was really nice. And then I found out that chance standby things are just amazing, so sided 3 of this chick. So you banish her and she destroys a chance standby or an addition. So she has a 600 defense as well, so she can get space time, thundered, anything like that. So really good. They'd have to use 2 things to get rid of her, and that point just wouldn't be worth it. Day 1, this was 2-fold chant, and I changed it to Keen Sense because it gets rid of chance standbys and can also protect me. So a little bit of more utility, versatility, just and I also don't have to pay a card to make it to where they, you know, can just pay 1 and get out of it. So I really like Keen Sense over 2-fold chant. And yes, I did side 2 more additional Heavenly Gust because the 0 decks were everywhere day 1, really strong. And like I said, everyone was playing Nameless Mist, and so I really didn't want to get the first one discarded and then, you know, just be desperately waiting for that 2nd or 3rd copy. And usually people play a lot more conservatively games 2 and 3 with the regalia and additions, especially after seeing that if they happen to see I had it game 1. So I really just needed multiples, because then it started being like a 1-for-1 most of the time. So I did end up signing more. And then the last card was ARLA. So she costs 2 to J-activate, and when she flips, she gets me any angel from my deck. So I ended up getting Seraph, most of the time, and then do the Seraph Lucifer combo the next turn. And she can also pay 2 white to buff 2/2. So against 0, I would side this in just so I could boost my angels over 0, and so that way she wouldn't just let my stuff loose flying and then perpetually block everything forever. So the buff was really good, and then also it gives 4 counters to my bow, so it just makes it to where I just have more counters to deal with more chance standbys. Also sided her against the chance standby decks, and I also sided her against a Sylvia aggro matchup because Sylvia has flying, so I just removed 4 counters with 1 bow, and that's a dead J ruler. So she ended up being really clutch, and she turns into a 9/7 flyer. I never used her God Art ability. It just never came up. And also just gives me another body in the air. So I did side her in an occasion and ended up working really well. So just let me know what you guys thought. Like the video, leave a comment, do something. The purpose of this channel is to grow the Force of Will scene. I really enjoy this game. I don't want to see it go anywhere. And I just feel like, there's not enough content out there. Like when I was going in for states, besides Alex and like DM073, there really just isn't a lot of stuff out there. So please participate, leave a like, a comment, anything. I don't even care if you hated it. Just participate in some way. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. I'm gonna post my best friend's 0 list that he brought. I have a Sylvia mid-range deck built that I think could actually do some work. But I'll make whatever you guys want me to make. Just let me know what you want to see. Later.